Hi, this is Melanie for the Pardesi channel. I'm here to discuss one of the best films of the Malayalam cinema for 2017, and that is Take Off. It's playing on Hotstar in the US, which is where I saw it. I saw it a couple weeks ago during the holiday break when I was really sick, so I've been meaning to review it. So it was one of my #1 films for the entire year. I thought it was such a strong film, and it's hard to believe it was a directorial debut. It was a directorial debut for Mahesh Narayan, and I thought he did a really exceptional job for a first film. This is the same subject matter of these nurses from Kerala being rescued from Tikrit, Iraq. That was in Tiger Zinda Hai, but Tiger Zinda Hai was just a big blow 'em up machine gun action flick, and you really didn't delve into the nurses' lives at all. They were just sort of props to be rescued. You know what I mean? I mean, it was based loosely on the real story, but I'm sort of glad that I saw that first and could appreciate it for what it was. I mean, I like Salmon By too, but then I got to see Take Off and get more of the real background story. I know he fictionalized the character that Parvathy played. The lead nurse wasn't exactly, in the same life situation that Parvathy's character was. But the other events that seemed to happen, from what the Wikipedia article said that I read after I watched the film, even some things that were admitted to later, I think after the film came out, like a particular businessman having Saudi royal family contacts that, was instrumental in getting the nurses safely out and so forth, were admitted to after, well after the time. This possibly is Parvathy's best performance of her entire career. It was stunning. It was so good. She was such a complex character as this nurse, and I got to learn so much of the story, why these nurses wanted to be there in Iraq. It was, she had crippled her family with debt, and she was paying off those education loans, and she had the increase in pay that she would get to go to Iraq was so substantial, she was desperate to get there. The opening scenes is her trying to get her visa, and she's just desperate to make it happen. So you get a sense of why, why they wanted to be there. I mean, I don't know, I guess maybe I had thought it was some sort of altruistic, Doctors Without Borders kind of thing. But, no, I mean, I was struck by one scene where the nurses were really in peril, and some of them didn't want to leave because they're like, well, we haven't been paid. It was like to that level. Like, it just was so vital to them and their survival and their family's survival that they, that's why they were putting themselves in harm's way in Iraq. So I think the setup, there's a lengthy setup about Parvathy's home life and why she's in this situation and why she wants to get to Iraq. And, she doesn't want to accept anyone's help, but finally she does accept help and marry another fellow nurse named Shahid, played by Kunchacko Boban. And it was really nice to see him in such a sympathetic role, because I think the last thing I saw him in was How Old Are You? And he was, the really obnoxious husband. I guess I've seen him in Traffic too, as the doctor in Traffic. But anyway, I thought this was such a really great role for him, and he hit it out of the park too. I mean, basically, all the main actors in this film were exceptional. Fahadh Faasil plays the ambassador in Iraq, and he just, here's this a supporting role. He doesn't really come in until almost the second half of the film, and he just makes such an impact in this supporting role. He's so great in that he knows what the real situation is on the ground in Iraq, and he's trying to do everything he can to finagle to get these nurses out. And he's dealing with people back in India in the government that just have no clue what he's dealing with, where he is, and you know, he's having to fight to be able to make the decisions that he thinks are right. I thought he was really, really strong in this role and really charismatic, and just, you know, he goes from strength to strength. Each performance I'm seeing of him, just so good. I thought the director's choice for the interval where Parvathy's child runs away and runs outside and then chaos is just erupting, my heart was in my throat. That was an interval to end all intervals. It was so effective, and just you just could not wait to see what would happen next. And it was such an exclamation point for the film, like, oh my God, this, not only is she in peril, but this child is in peril, oh my God. But then I do have to say that, I mean, I'm sure the director was trying to keep to what he had learned and researched about the true events that happened to the nurses, but I felt like the very last scenes of the film, the tension kind of fizzled out rather than really having the full impact and, you know, edge of your seat kind of feeling that I thought maybe it should have. Maybe that's not what he was going for. I don't know. I mean, over the credits, they showed the real nurses returning, and I thought that was fantastic. But I'm just talking about those last scenes resolving the rescue. I don't know. Somehow they didn't have the full impact on me that I thought they should have. But it is a minor quibble over when he had created this exceptional film, one of the best ones of the entire year. Again, you know, this year has just been such notable for so many young directors making an impact with their first or their second films, and I'm looking forward to see what we get next from this director. And Parvarthy, oh my God, she was so amazing. And I just, the choices that she made in costuming, and how she essentially had no makeup and looked extremely natural through the whole film, she just was a powerhouse. I mean, here she finally was given a role worthy of her talents, where she could really shine and just show us everything that she's got, and it was stunning. It was really incredible. So let me know what you thought about the movie Takeoff, and if you saw Tigers in the High, and if you were also rolling your eyes because you realized how much closer to the real story this film was. Anyway, if you haven't seen Takeoff, highly recommend you check it out. Like I said, it's on Hotstar in the US. It's one from 2017 that you really don't want to miss. And I'm really glad that I did catch it, even though it was all the way at the end of 2017. If you enjoyed this review, please share it, press that like button, subscribe to us here on Pardesi, and if you press the bell, then you will get a notification whenever we have a new video. And follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Pardesi YT.